I checked out the gym and there was this amazing program where everyone was dancing and having fun and shaking their booties, and of course, it was Zumba. And when I came back to Melbourne, I said to the manager of the gym where I was working, there's this amazing program, we've got to get onto it. And he said, funny you should say that. The first, could you just, Ella, please? The first training program in Australia is happening in Melbourne and Sydney, and you should get on it. So I got straight onto the first training program. And I did that in July 2009. And in August 2009, I took my first class at Recreation, South Road and Nepean Highway. And from that one class became 5 classes in that gym, and those classes were packed because Zumba was the in thing. It was starting to be promoted all around, you know, TVs and things like that. So when those classes got really full, I of course asked for a raise, as you do, and the boss of the gym said no. So I thought, I'm going to go and set up my own class. So off I went and I set up my very first private class in December of 2009. And that was when I started Zumba with Karen. So there are a couple of people that were here for Zumba with Karen, but as I said, I will get to that in a minute. But 4 months later, I ended up continuing this journey with Daniel, and we got engaged, and he supported me a lot through setting up that business. And he was the accountant, you know, he was the brains behind it all, which I learned a lot in that time. And by the end of 2010, I had 7 girls working with me because my 12 classes a week privately became 22. So we had Shlomit, Nikki, Melissa Friedman, Jessie, Janelle, Catherine and Jessica in that first pretty much 6 months of 2010. And that was when I had to create, obviously, United by Karen. It couldn't be Zumba with Karen anymore when I had, you know, all these other people, amazing people working with me. So that was the end of 2010, and that journey was the biggest learning curve of my life. And in March 2011, we ended up getting married. Yes. And 6 months later, I was pregnant with this one. And in that time, obviously, that was a really, you know, changing in my body and all that kind of stuff. The business was also changing. Of course, people come and go. And there were quite a few people that merged and morphed and grew. As a team, there was, some of you might remember Christy. These were people who actually took regular classes. Christy, Nikki Hursthouse, Anel and Amber. I think Anel's still teaching. But we held on to the cream of the crop for quite some time. The core team for 2011 and 12 was Dion, Christelle, Angelica, Shlomi and Liana. Did Shlomi make it tonight? No, she was going to come. By that stage, Nikki, I think, had moved to Israel. You'd moved already 2012? Have I got that right? 11? Already, yeah. So I couldn't remember exactly, but I knew you were part of that core group, and then up she went, left me, went to set up her own thing in Israel, and very successful there, but now she's back, which we are very happy about. But in that time, with all those instructors, Joshie and Ella were born into this little family. And over the next few years, again, I had amazing assistance from other quality instructors like Tatiana Morella, Mel Carvalidis, Catalina, Gabby, and Shelley, if you remember Shelley recently as well. We had an incredible, supportive and generous team members who shadowed and assisted with the admin. And some of these people were Marissa, if you remember, Nadine's here tonight, Jasmine, Shiri, Serge, Noga, Donna was here earlier. Anna also was shadowing. Where's Anna gone? Anna was shadowing as well. And Ellie, if you remember Ellie. So there's been so many people through this whole journey. It's just, it blows my mind when I put this list together. In March 2015, Daniel and I separated. And my incredible team did not let me down. And I just felt I was about to cry, but I'm not going to cry. If it wasn't for the support of my amazing Zumba family, we would not be standing here today. This business would not be here if it wasn't for the team who was backing me. Honestly, I couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have continued. They all jumped in. Special mention goes to Donna and Primrose, who personally, don't cry. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna cry. I'm so determined. Special mention goes to Donna, and I'm just going to read it more clinically than too passionately, because otherwise I'll cry. Special mention goes to Donna and Primrose, who gave me personally so much time and support. Primrose helped me with my babies for countless hours, and she would literally drop everything to come and help me, and also to help me with the business. And Donna similarly helped me with the business and my daunting house move all on my own to start this unexpected life with my little babies. I'm forever grateful for these two women, and I'd like to give them a very special thanks. So Primrose is in flowers, and Donna's not here. Donna's already gone. Primrose, come and take it. No, you don't. Okay. Yeah. I need you all to know that behind the scenes we do a lot of private events. We do corporate gigs, we do schools, we do private parties, we do Beth Rivka School. Catalina learned a whole playlist just to Hebrew music to support that gig. And these two girls, Angelica and Catalina, who have been with me for a long time, have been so passionate, so caring, so reliable, and I'm so grateful. And I really want to make a special thanks to you both for your time, effort, and most importantly for me, is your honesty and your loyalty, because you've really been so incredible. At front of house when you were working for United by Karen in my regular classes, but behind the scenes as well, which a lot of people don't even realise. So I'd like to give you girls a gift as well, just to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming tonight as well. Thank you so much. So, finally, a huge thank you to the special United by Karen team that's here tonight and has lasted these last couple of years, keeping the business ticking along in a somewhat challenging economy. We've managed to stay strong, and I like to think we're leaders amongst the small private group fitness businesses out there. A lot haven't survived the climate. My amazing current admin team, who are the most reliable, honest and wonderful women, please come up. Donna and Prim again, Katina, Yvette and Yehudis. I'm not sure if Yehudis is here. And so these girls are the front of house, and I have to obviously trust them with all my money, and I do. They know that if, we don't eat. Okay, now to my amazing current instructors. Megan, come on. You joined us at the beginning of 2018. She joined us at the beginning of 2018, which was a really amazing time because also Shlomi got injured. So you just came out of nowhere. You popped into our world. Shlomi had been injured, and like an angel, Megzi jumped up and joined our family. And what an asset. She is amazing. Thank you. Go back. And back. You can stay up here if you like. And Shlomi didn't make it? No. So speaking of Shlom, from day one, Shlomit was on the United by Karen team. She helped to set up the family, and although she's injured at the moment, she is the longest standing instructor and has been a most reliable, passionate, loyal, amazing instructor and a friend. We've shared some incredible journeys together, and I'm honoured to call her my friend. We can't wait to have you back once your injury is totally healed up, so I do have a gift for her, and we'll keep that for her. So, round of applause for Shlomi. And she's dying to come back. She's absolutely she's just can't wait to come back. So as soon as she's ready, we'll try to find a spot for her. Lily! Hi, you have to come up, come on. Liana has been around. She gets around. Almost from the beginning, almost. But she was young, she was getting married, she was having babies. No, but that was actually after you joined the team. But you joined us just after we'd established United by Karen, and she is always willing to jump in when she can. She's reliable, undoubtedly one of the most popular instructors we've had. She was sexy. And Liana's Sunday morning, and I say that because her Sunday morning classes have carried the business through some really tough months. And I can't thank you enough for being so consistent. Yeah. That Sunday morning class is just, I'm so grateful for everything that you do and everything that you've done for the business, but also for me personally. We have a very special friendship which I'll always treasure, and once more I'm grateful for that friendship as well as the business relationship. So I have some flowers and a bag for you. Do you want to go and give that to Liana? And Liana was dancing, by the way, until her overdue date with Lilia in her tummy. So, she would be still teaching and still dancing with 30, 40 something weeks. Yeah, so she really is an amazing, amazing woman. Nikki is back, and I cannot leave out the importance of Nikki, because from day one of United by Karen, Nikki was there. As a good friend to me, also Nikki saw me through some very exciting times. Very early on, she helped organise my bride's hens night, and played a very big part in helping me to grow the business at such an important early stage. And for that, I will always be grateful. Calm down. Ella, you've had a turn. You've had a turn. Let go. Let go. Thank you. Sorry, Nikki. This is Nikki's time. So for that, I'll always be grateful. Nikki's smile is second to none. She's got KO, but her smile is second to none, and we are so glad to have you back in town and helping out when you can. Okay, so now this is a special part where we have some very amazing loyal participants who have been with us for many, many years, such as Anna, who are both up the front tonight, Diane and Prim. But there are two participants who have been coming to classes consistently over the last 10 years with minimal breaks, and they were there at the very first class. Esther Koss, who couldn't be here tonight, she's recovering from surgery, but Esther Koss was at the very first class that I did when I did Zumba with Karen. And Jen, you were also one of the very first people, and I remember you so clearly being on the rooftop when we did our promotional, So Jen and Esther will be getting a gift voucher from me. I've got it here. Come give me a hug. Thank you for being so loyal and continuing with us. In a minute. And I'm going to just do the gift voucher for you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just don't leave without the gift voucher. I'll find you though. I'll find one of the classes. And I'd also like to present a very special participant who's been with us for just over 5 years. In fact, in August it was 5 years. And she attends 9 out of 9 classes a week, every week. Michelle Brennan, you are incredible. Our most loyal, supportive, 100% strike rate participant. Thank you. Okay. So with all of that in mind, I would like to finish by saying this. So those were extra ones. If you'd asked me 15 years ago, I would never have imagined creating a business like United by Karen, employing over 26 amazing instructors and managing over 15 incredible admin helpers. I am humbled each and every day by my job in this life, and I don't take it for granted. I feel so lucky that my passion is my profession. I'm truly blessed. I don't take it for granted. To have been given the drive and opportunity to create and bring together such a special network of amazing people over the last 10 years. The connections we have built have been so much more than just that. We have been through so much together, and it has been an amazing support network. We have shared in our friends' happy times and in their challenging times of sickness, loss, and unimaginable heartbreaks. The music and the friendship has carried us all through all of that. And that is what Zumba around the world is all about, sharing in happiness through the universal language of love and freedom, which is music and dance. We are all on this earth going through our own challenges and our own journeys, but brought together by this amazing program. There are so many who wanted to be here tonight and couldn't make it, and so to them as well, I say thank you all for supporting me and this amazing team of human beings to bring you the first 10 years of happiness in this city, professionally, personally, and always with immense love. I say thank you. Thank you. Put this on your head. It's very little.
Now I'm just going to jump in very quickly. Now I haven't been here very long, but we've got some words that have been written by a couple of people who wish to remain anonymous, but I'm sure it sums up what you all think. It says, to our darling Karen, firstly, a big congratulations for an amazing 10 years. What do you reckon? She's of dedicated, passionate work in providing the community with your love of Zumba. Over the last decade, Karen, you have managed to not only provide our community with a fun and exciting way of getting fit, you have also managed to make it affordable for all so that no one person would have to be left out. Karen, you go above and beyond for your clients, forging strong and deep friendships with us, all even outside of Zumba. We ourselves have a very close friendship with you. You have seen us through very personal parts of our lives. You are a great mentor and a beautiful friend, Karen. You have touched our lives personally and professionally. Thank you for bringing sunshine, excitement and friendship to our lives. We love you, Karen. Lots of love from Rose and Christina. Again, big cheers for Karen. Again.